This is part one of What If Deku was in Fairy Tail. I'm thinking about making this another multiple part series like my What If Deku was the Doomslayer and What If Deku was the Quiet Kid. Just like and subscribe, and let's get straight into this. This timeline takes place after Deku defeats Muscular. Instead of going 1,000,000% and breaking his arm, he goes 2,000,000,000% and absolutely destroys every bone in his body, killing Muscular. We then cut to Inside One for All. Deku then looks around and sees he's inside One for All. He then looks at Nana, since she's the only one who's had regular contact with him. He says, "Oh, hey Nana, so exactly what happened?" Then Nana just says plainly, "You went 2,000,000,000%. Deku just sighs and says, "Exactly how did I go that?" Then Nana points at the second user, who just gives a middle finger. Then Deku asks what happened to Muscular. They'll just look at him with a slight shocked face. Nana just says plainly, "You turned him into toothpaste." He's confused. "What do you mean by that?" "You punched him so hard he literally exploded." Then Deku wakes up, making everybody confused inside One for All. They're like, "What just happened?" Nana just says plainly, "Yeah, we'll figure it out." Deku then looks around and sees a dragon. The dragon then speaks, "I am Scar, the dual elemental dragon." Deku's just surprised and then says, "A dual elemental dragon, eh? What kind of element?" Then the dragon just says plainly, "Well, I have flames that can literally create ice, and then just regular flames." He says, "So an ice and fire dragon. Not bad, so what do you want from me?" He then says, "Well, I'm so happy to raise you and teach you an ancient magical dragon slayer." Deku then just says plainly mumbles under his breath, "Okay, so I'm not in Japan anymore. Oh well. I did technically just kill myself over there, so..." Then we cut to a few months later. Deku wakes up in the forest but Scar ain't around. Deku shrugs and says, "Well, he taught me all he knew, so I guess it's about time I'll find something to do." Then we cut to 1 mile away from Magnolia Fairy Tail Guild. We then see a boy with pink hair and a blue cat getting their ass kicked by a little monkey. Deku just blinks, but then the monkey just starts shooting fireballs at the pink-haired boy. Deku sighs and then runs right at it, using full call at 5%. He then jumps above it, making the monkey and everyone just look at him. Then Deku screams from the bottom of his lungs, "Ice Fire Dragon Roar," completely annihilating the little monkey. Then Natsu just says, You're a dragon slayer?" Deku then just looks and says, "Yeah, I'm a dual dragon slayer, actually." Natsu says, "That's awesome!" Then we see Happy just casually flying down to see Deku. He says, "I'm Happy." Deku says, "I'm Izuku Midoriya, but just call me Deku." Natsu says, "Okay, Deku?" Then we see a blonde-haired girl behind the rock saying, "Is that nightmare fuel gone?" Natsu just says, "Yeah, this dragon slayer kicked that thing's ass." Natsu then asks, "So, what elements do you have?" Deku says, "Ice and fire." Natsu's confused and he says, "Long story, but I'll explain another time." Then Natsu asks, "So what girl are you part of?" Deku just scratches the back of his head and says, "I'm not part of a guild." Natsu then says, "Why don't you join Fairy Tail then?" Deku just shrugs and says, "Alright." We then cut to inside the Fairy Tail Guild. Deku then looks around, seeing a little bit of excitement in that. He then says, mumbles under his breath, "It reminds me way too much of 1A. Then he heads to the front desk to become a member of Fairy Tail. Then he sees Mary Jane. Mary Jane says, "Hi, I'm Mary Jane, and by the looks of it, you want to be a new member." Deku just says simply, "Yeah." Mary Jane then puts a stamp on him, and then Natsu and Grey just start fighting. Deku just orders a quick drink. When he turns around, the entire guild is destroyed. But before anything, Natsu smashes Deku's beer. Spills Deku's drink. Deku then just looks at the beer and then looks back at Natsu with an intimidating look. He says, "Oh, you fucked up." Then he just runs and then just jumps Natsu. Then Urza walks in. But before she says anything, Deku ignites his heel and swings it towards Natsu. Natsu ducks, and then Deku hits Urza right across the face, sending her flying into a brick wall. Before Natsu says anything, Deku just headbutts Natsu, knocking Natsu out. Urza then gets angry and then glares at Deku. Deku then just goes, "He did it," and pointed at Natsu. And then Urza's about to say, "No, he..." But then Deku then just uses his ice as a cover-up and says, "I use ice magic." Then Urza then just glares at Natsu, just gets up like, okay, what the hell's going on?" Then Natsu goes, "I don't know what I did, but I did. I swear I didn't do it on purpose." Then we cut to the next day. We then see Phantom Lord Guild pull up on them. Deku then just looks at Phantom Lord Guild and then looks at Urza and says, "Care to explain why there's a giant spider house thing?" She then explains that that's Phantom Lord Guild, the number 2 guild, and they're kind of sour about that. Deku just looks, sighs. Then they see a giant cannon come out of Phantom Lord Guild. Deku's surprised, and then they fire. Urza gets in the way of the cannon, just barely blocking it. She's injured, and then Deku looks at them and pulls out a really big gun. Destroying over half of the guild. We then cut to the fight with Juvia. Deku is heading towards her, and then they just come face to face. When the fight happens, Deku sees she's made of water, so he decides to stop using his fire and go straight for his ice. We then cut to after the fight. Juvia is on the floor covered in ice, stopping her from moving. She then looks at Deku with no t-shirt and gets a really bad blush on her face. Then we cut to the fight with Jose. Deku and Jose goes straight at it with their fighting. Everybody who's outside just looks at the two god level beings fighting. Well, that's what it looks like. Then Deku just says, fuck it, 100%. Jose's eyes widen with how much energy's just coming off him. Then Deku just kicks him right in the gut, sending him straight up, and then pulls the exact same move he did on Overhaul. They're all of Fairy Tail's jaws drop. Then when Deku lands, we cut to a few days later, when that's where we'll end this what if for now. Right, I'm thinking about either continuing this for my next what if, or I might start a Ben 10 what if. But, right, I'm leaving this for you lot watching. Between every MHA character who would be taking the place of Gwen if, because I'm thinking about doing a Ben 10 what if. Well, a what if Deku had the Omnitrix what if. And who would be taking the place of Kevin, leave the anime and character below.